Joined by our friend Jamar Cain here on this Monday morning. Coach, great to see you. How are you?
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Finally got it figured out. Huh?
Yeah, finally we're able to make this thing happen, man. But I know that that's kind of been the theme for you guys, that you've been hella busy since you've touched down in Baton Rouge. What's the schedule been like since being named defensive line coach?
Man, it's been a blur, really. Serious. When I first got here, just hit the road recruiting, then getting to know our players, getting around our players, getting to know the playbook, buy a house, remodel a house, get them settled in school.
Right.
Now go back to recruiting, then spring ball. Now we're in the summer camp, so it's been a blur. I feel like I just got here yesterday.
I bet.
Hang out with you.
Yeah, absolutely. A couple of crawfish
couple
boys.
of dads, yes.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Had to baptize them.
Take me back to you getting here when you were brought aboard to Coach Kelly's staff. It was widely celebrated and wide reaction throughout college football that it was a hell of a get. People, I think, were assuming that you were either going to go to Los Angeles with Lincoln Riley, or that Brett Venables was going to throw a lot of money at you to stay in Norman, but you ended up in Baton Rouge. How did that happen?
Obviously, it was, again, this whole, since November 27th has been a blur. That was Bedlam. I remember waking up November 28th, and my wife not giving me a little nudge like, hey, Lincoln is staying. He just announced he's not going to be the head coach at LSU. And I'm like, okay, cool. Well, he said he's not going to be the next head coach at LSU. That's what he said.
That's right. That's right.
And then walk in the office, and then him laying that bomb on us that he was going to USC. And I'm just like, what the heck is going on here? So obviously, I took the job with him just to make sure I secured some type of income and benefits and all the other stuff.
Sure.
And I went through the whole process of the bowl game with Oklahoma, and something just didn't feel right. Just didn't have that gut feeling. And then I got a phone call from my agent and was like, hey, would you consider talking to Brian Kelly? And I was like, well, I always wanted to coach in the SEC.
Yeah.
And so Coach Kelly and I had a talk, and when I said we had a talk, it was, I was apprehensive at first because I just didn't know Coach Kelly, just to be honest. And then after that conversation, I was at peace with what he was going to build here, what he was going to do here, and our interaction. Then I got on the phone with House. And when I say that, we talked on New Year's Eve, the 31st. We probably talked for about, Coach Kelly and I, about an hour. Then House and I talked for about an hour. And then I said, well, I'm good, Coach. And he was like, I said, when do you want to get this done? He said, we can do it now. I was like, oh. I said, okay. You mean like right now? It's New Year's Eve.
This instant right now?
Yeah. So went back and forth. And when I would say it was done by 6 o'clock on New Year's Eve, it was done by 6 o'clock on New Year's Eve. And
wow.
That conversation happened quick. But, when you get on the phone with somebody and you just know that they have a plan, they have a direction, they had a calmness about them, about the success they've already had and what they're going to implement here, it put me at peace, and I was good with it.
You coached the Big 12 Player of the Year last season in Nick Benito, but you mentioned that you always wanted to get to the SEC. How do you look at the SEC from another conference like you were in the Big 12s, especially when you're coaching some of the top players like Benito?
Yeah. It's just again, from my conversations with Coach Kelly and I, we both had that same feeling of losing players to the SEC. When I say losing players, I mean losing recruits.
Yeah. And
you recruit these kids for 2 years, maybe 3, and then it gets down to making decisions. Well, Coach, I want to play in the SEC, and that was a reoccurring thing. And just from outside looking in, I knew that LSU, the SEC, always had the best defensive linemen, because I knew I was recruiting against them the whole time.
Right.
So I knew it was something that I wanted to do. I knew LSU had a great tradition of having guys up front, and I had to watch the bowl game, and I saw those boys play, and I was like, all right, I can take
We're
care of
good.
that.
Right, because I think there was a lot of concern on what the roster was going to look like this fall, but one thing that was not concerning was the defensive line room.
Right.
That room it feels NFL. I mean, it feels deep NFL. You're the guy leading them. What do you think of that room overall?
Well, I'm the short guy in the room, which is
nuts.
Which is perfect for me. My wife was at practice, and she was telling me that I look really little out there, which is fine. That's
hard not to with Mason Smith over there, Coach.
Yeah. She was like, you look like Mason's little brother.
Everybody does.
No doubt. But no, it's exciting, man. I want to implement my system Coach Kelly, Coach House's system, and the guys really are eager to learn and eager to get better.
Yeah.
And that's refreshing, you know, because sometimes some guys with transition aren't eager to understand what you're trying to get across, or there may be a little pushback because they're used to doing it one way. But these guys are eager to learn, and obviously it helped with what I did with Nick and some of those guys last year at Oklahoma. And now those guys, you know, those guys watch YouTube and other videos, so they're eager to see, okay, what did he do here? How can I get better? And I like the room. The room is a group that just wants to get better every single day.
It feels like you got pros at every position. Roy and Smith feel like high first-round picks, and then Ojulari and Gay on the outside. How do you divvy up your expertise? Where do you focus on the most when you're talking about defensive line?
I try to oversee it all. I mean, that's why Coach Kelly brought me here. That's why I wanted the whole front, so I can oversee it all. I have some really good guys that work with me and help me out that I trust, and those guys support me, and we're all speaking the same language. Excuse me, because sometimes when you're coaching the front and you have people who are assisting you, they may have their language, and then you have yours.
Sure.
And that's where kids get confused.
Right.
It's just like you guys all have a group here, and you guys all got to speak the same language, so you guys can make this show successul.
Sure.
So as long as those guys that are with me are speaking the same language, it's all going to go in the right direction. That's what we've been doing so far.
We spoke to Emery Jones last Friday, who's one of the true freshman offensive linemen coming in here.
He's a big boy.
He's an animal coach and a hell of an athlete. And then we were talking about a couple of defensive linemen, Quincy Wiggins and Tyjee Hill, who came in this freshman class. Obviously, you are front-loaded with a lot of veteran talent on this defensive line. What do you think of the youngsters?
I like him. Obviously, Tyjee just got here, so he's just getting into the summer conditioning part of it. Quincy's been here since January. Quincy's learning. I mean, he looks gorgeous, by the way. I know it's a little weird.
I mean, that's how you sketch them.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, like if somebody was like, draw me a defensive lineman, you would draw Quincy Wiggins.
Yeah, he's pretty.
Looks like he's Under Armour mannequin.
I hate saying somebody's gorgeous.
Yeah, but we get it because we've been saying the same thing.
Yeah, he's gorgeous. But you know, there's enough veterans in that group where they take him under his wing. So when he has a rough day at practice, or when I'm in one of my moods, you know, there's an Ali Gay there, or there's a Mason who's always wants to be everybody's big brother.
Sure.
Saying, "Come on, Q, I got you." You know, and that helps with growth. Because if you have an older group of guys that don't want to help or don't want to bring along the younger guys, they have nobody to vent to or say, "Hey, I've been here before. You're okay. Don't worry. Coach is just trying to make you better."
Right.
So I have a great older group that want to see that the younger guys get better.
Did you get everything you wanted to out of spring practice? Did you go in obviously looking to get something accomplished, and what did you take away from it?
Yeah, I think so. The biggest thing is I want to implement my daily practices. I wanted to make sure that those guys knew when practice one came in fall camp, they knew what to expect. I did get across that I wanted to make sure that there was a sense of urgency about getting to the ball, playing with a nastiness, playing the way that I used to watch LSU football play, because I have a vision of what LSU defensive line play should be, and I wanted to make sure I got that across to the boys. And
Sure.
They'll get it. They'll definitely get it.
You guys just wrapped up a big week of camps.
Oh man, we had 1,300 first through eighth graders.
Oh, God.
Little Jordan Culotta was one of them.
Yes.
I
It
know,
looked
I
like a
saw you
hell of a
out there.
babysitting service y'all had going on Thursday.
I can't even walk no more, man.
Yeah,
I was
man.
like, oh my God, these kids were oof.
So it's followed up by 7-on-7, where it felt like every big prospect in the country or in the state was in Baton Rouge, and then you had official visitors in town, which I know you had a lot of headline guys.
Yeah.
What is the stock you guys put as coaches into the camps, and how has recruiting been since you've been in Baton Rouge?
Well, camps are huge, especially for those younger kids like your son, because those kids come to campus, and then, you know, they come to campus as a fourth grader, fifth grader. You start falling in love with the place.
Right.
So then now you got stock in the community, stock into our program. So again, when that kid becomes a 10th, 11th, 12th grader, hopefully he's got a lot of SEC offers. Well, what he remembers is him at kids camp at our campus.
Sure.
Now he's vested now,
Right.
so that's huge for us. Now the 7-on-7 camps, I don't deal with any of that. Let those guys go down there and throw the ball. We had an O-line D-line camp, which I'm tired. My arms are sore. I didn't even lift no weights. I'm just out there working. So that was fun. Then you come back on Friday. So Friday morning was a 7-on-7 O-line, D-line camp. Then you got Friday night, and you got some top headliners coming in.
Yeah.
And you better be on point. You better have some juice. So it's been a fun weekend.
When you look at the state of Louisiana,
Mm-hmm.
how do you view your position? Because they have produced a lot of high-end talent at defensive line, but we've also seen you early on here spread your reach around the country and bring guys in as far as prospects go. How do you view recruiting as far as the personnel goes from state to national?
I think there's a lot of good players here. This state has – I knew when I was at Oklahoma we couldn't come in this state if the kid had an LSU offer. It was just something that we just knew, like, okay, he's
the foregone conclusion he was going to LSU.
Yeah, the kid may come on a visit and he may answer my calls, text my text messages, all that other stuff. But at the end of the day, he was going to go, and it was a waste of time. In my thoughts, I don't care. I don't say anybody else say, but I just consider myself a competitive recruiter. I think the talent here is rich. They love the state. They want to be a Tiger. So we just got to make sure we do a good job of keeping them keeping them here in state. Now, when it gets to the national end, when I was at my previous school, Oklahoma, we had to spread our net.
Right.
So some of these kids I'm recruiting, I've been on those guys for 2-3 years now, and it was an easy process. So when I went to SC, they were coming to SC. When I came here, they were like, all right, I'm messing with Cain. So that's why you guys see that national board for me, and we're going to continue to do that. But we're going to win this state, though. So if there's a top kid in this state who wants to be a Tiger and we want him, we're going to make that thing happen. But it all starts here first.
You mentioned the relationship with House and what it meant for you in the conversation on the phone. How has it been since you guys have been on the job together and working hand in hand?
Yeah, it's been good. I've learned so much from him. I mean, he's coming from that NFL background. He's a smart guy. He gets on that board, and, those smart guys that start talking fast. I'm like, hold on, dude, slow down, man. Hold on, man.
I'm still copying this down.
A couple sequences back, if you don't mind.
He just looks at me, but he's a super bright guy, man. Obviously, what he did at Kentucky, with the talent that they have there, and to have a really good deep defense, I'm excited to see how we can just continue to grow. And he's allowed me to be me. That's all I can ask for. He's allowed me to do what I have to do with the front. He's leaned on me with, trying to implement my stuff with his system and mirror it together. So it's been a fun process.
The word that we keep hearing about Brian Kelly since he's been in town is organization. It feels like the program has been organized since he's landed in his as one of his on-the-field coaches. What are your thoughts of working with him?
Well, I'm a football guy, so when you start playing this game at 9, and today's my birthday, by the way.
Coach. Put it in the calendar.
Happy birthday.
I'm celebrating with you.
Damn, my man.
So I'm 43 today.
My God.
And
Happy
I grew
birthday.
up, appreciate it, grew up with a schedule.
Okay.
I grew up with we're gonna be here. This is the plan, and I need that in my life just to function. So when I got here, it was like, oh, you and I mesh, perfect. So the schedule is there, the plan is there. Our kids understand the direction of where the program is going, and you just go around the country and you talk to other coaches, on the road recruiting. They're all excited about us, and they say, hey, once a coach gets his system in, it's going to pretty much be done for everybody.
Yeah.
Because they understand, like, just a little bit of discipline, a little bit of organization. It's going to be pretty good.
Right now, the team is in the hands of the weight staff, the strength staff.
Jake Flint.
Yeah. What do you make of him in your short time in working with him? I heard a lot of good things about him in the short term.
Jake has got a great group with him. The kids are buying in. He's been good. He's been awesome with me. I hate when he calls me because that means something's going wrong, but he hasn't called me much.
Right.
And he just takes care of business, and when things happen, he just takes care of it. And that's all you can ask from your strength staff. And you can ask for bodies to change. And between him and Dr. Frakes and all those guys down there in the weight room, you can see guys' bodies changing. Yeah. And that's all we can ask for. When we get them back, are they in shape? Are they stronger? Are they bigger? Like, I love it.
Do you tell Flint what you want Mason Smith to look like, or do you tell him what you have an idea of Roy and what you want them to go like, or how does that working relationship function?
Yeah, it's been good, but I use my resources within the program everywhere I've been. Those guys are the expertise at that.
Got you.
So when Dr. Frank says, hey, You know, Mason and those guys, I think their air weight should be here, and this is what they need to do. And then Jake tells me, hey, I think he needs to build mass. Okay. Like, that's your guys' job. Like, you guys don't come and tell me, hey, I think they should do this type of pass rush move. So you guys are the experts at that. You guys do your job. I assist whatever you guys need me to do. And that's how you stay on the same page.
You guys also had a lot of success in the transfer portal.
Yeah.
How has that changed the way that you approach recruiting?
Well, transfer portal's changed a lot just for high school kids too, because now the process of high school kids waiting around till November, December to make a decision now. You wait around that long, we're just gonna get a transfer kid.
Right.
So now the process is picked up now in the summer. So now kids are like, you'll see a lot of July commits because kids got to get it done now, because they know if they wait till the fall, then that transfer who's not happy at school X is going to go into the portal, and you may lose that scholarship there.
Yeah.
So even high school coaches are feeling the effect. So you go to one high school and he may have 8 to 10 Division I, between Division I and Division II players. Well, only 4 may sign now.
Wow.
Because those other 6 are going to transfer portal kids. So it's a trickle down effect. Junior colleges. I was a junior college kid, so you know you don't see those junior college big time signees anymore, because those are going to transfer portal kids. So.
The transfer you got, Makai Wingo, was an all-SEC freshman player at Missouri.
Yeah.
And comes in and feels like he's very versatile.
Yeah.
How do you view him?
Dude, I'm telling you, you just got to make yourself valuable within the program. And Wingo did a great job of that right away. He learned all 3 positions. He can't play that jack position yet. He's just not big enough.
Don't tell him that.
Right.
He's a trip. He talks to me about the Warriors all the time. I'm a Warriors fan, so I can hear his voice right now saying Draymond's not a good player. I'm like, dude, you're crazy. I'm a huge Draymond fan, man.
It's tough to root for him right now. He doesn't really triple single. That's all he's been doing.
Don't worry about it. He's
He's
a jail guy.
orchestrating.
He'll take a jail guy.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
I want to know who the jail
Who's
guy
got
in
the
his
shiv?
room is.
That's right.
Doesn't bring any value, but
Lloyd,
it's the jail guy.
right here.
There you go.
Yeah.
Dog.
Yeah, you can spend a week, a month, a night. What do you need from him?
Yeah.
But when he's not here, you miss him.
That's right. That's right.
So you need
I
a
can help
jail
you.
guy. There you go. Bring no value, but you're the jail guy.
Exactly.
The goon.
Good to know. Know exactly where I fit in.
But he came in really good. He came in and just learned all 3 positions. Doesn't complain, just works hard, and wants to make his stamp on the program. And I'm happy with him. Like, literally, if a guy goes down and he's standing next to me, hey, you got to go play that one, and he'll know it.
Right.
Like,
What a trust.
Yes.
Golly, that must be a breath of fresh air for you, man.
And I'm like, oh, dang it, he doesn't know that. And then I was like, oh, shoot. He was paying attention to something he should have been paying attention to.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
It feels like the SWAT team stuff and the accountability stuff has really like created like this inner competition between the team. They've come through here, and a lot of them. I ask them about the SWAT team, and I say, "What's your motivation?" And they all say, "Just not to finish last." You know, I mean, have you seen that really kind of bring the best out of everybody here early on?
That goes back to Coach Kelly's system, just implementing that stuff every single day and kind of embedding that into the kids' minds, and they've all bought in. It's just, you see the SWAT teams and you see the SWAT leaders, they're getting on guys like, hey, I don't want to finish dead last, or I don't want to have to switch my group and come in earlier. So it's been fun. When I first got there, I was like, you know, something's new, so you don't ask a bunch of questions. You just think like, oh, yeah, not today. Like, you know,
Fake it till I make it.
I'm like, oh, yeah, I heard of that before. Yeah. I had no idea what was going on. But no, I see the kids buying into it, and Jake has done a good job with the SWAT teams, and it's been cool.
Give me a good Burrows story.
Oh, man.
Jimmy or Joe?
Baby Burrow.
First of all, you know, my career.
2005, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Man,
First collegiate job?
Jimmy started this whole thing for me. Like, that's like a dad to me. When I say that's a dad to me. And I love the guy. I can sit here and go on Jimmy stories all day. I wanted to get out of coaching because he used to rip my butt every single day. The best Jimmy story, well, Joey's story was I just remember having to pick him up from school.
And this is in Athens, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about Jimmy yelling at me right now. So I can't think of a Joey story. I'm thinking of Jimmy yelling at me right now. But no, I think probably the best ones. We just got done playing a game on a Saturday, and I'm upstairs breaking a game down, and Jimmy comes upstairs and goes, hey, Joey's playing in the stadium. I need you to film the game. I'm like, Coach, I got to break this game down. I got to do all this stuff for your guys meeting at 6. And he used his little words that he always does. So I had to go upstairs, film it from the aerial shot, and Joey's just killing these little kids. He's playing quarterback, and they only played half a field in Peterson Stadium, so they would play from the 50-yard in, the other field would go this way, and it was just like bomb, right? Or Joey just going to the right, stiff arm these little kids. And I'm saying he was stiff arming, it was like you and five,
Yes.
just stiff arming. You know what I mean? And then so the game is over, and then I'm like, coach is done. And he goes, all right, and you do that next week, the week after next, and the week after next. I'm like, man, dude, I'm like, coach, or am I a film guy?
Yeah, right.
And then so then Christmas comes around. He goes, hey, you got all those videos? I'm like, yeah, coach, I've been trying to give to you. He goes, all right, go through them all, make Joey a highlight film, and make 10 copies of it so I can give to everybody for Christmas gifts. I'm like, what? Oh, by the way, do the end of season cut-ups too. And he just walked out in Jimmy style. I'm like, this dude right here, man. But anyways, that's a good one. So there's a tape floating around the country.
Wow, of a young 8-year-old Joey.
Just stiff arming all these little kids. I made that tape, just so you guys know.
Put some music underneath.
I think I put like Van Halen on there or something because that was what Coach wanted to listen. Coach Burrow's been so great to me. Like anytime I've switched jobs or transitioned in my career, he's the first phone call that I make. Ask him, bounce some questions off of him, and he's just been so awesome to me. Him and Robin. I used to go over there when I was a GA, eat dinner. Go downstairs, go play with Joey. Okay, coach. So I go downstairs, go play with Joey. You know, it was actually pretty cool though. But then he just, we would talk all the time. He goes, Joey's going to Ohio State. Joey made all state. Just telling me all about his career. As it progressed. Hey, Joey's going to transfer to LSU. I was at Arizona State at the time.
Yeah, go ahead and clarify that. I wanted you to clarify.
I was at Arizona State at the time, so I tried to call coach. I'm like, coach, man, let me get JoJo. You know what I mean? And he was like, no, I think he's going to go to I think it was Cincinnati might have been in there too.
Right.
Yeah, so he's like, he's going to go to LSU. I'm like, all right, cool. Then it just all took off. Hey, I'm retiring, Jamar, just because I want to watch him play his last year. Yeah. Been talking to him during COVID, then the draft. So anyways, when I took the job here, he's one of the first phone calls. And he sent me, videos of the videos, and like he still uses Facebook, so he's like screenshotting Facebook stuff and like sending it to me, so it's been awesome.
You were also at Arizona State the day that Joey lit up the Sooners. Just
Yes.
for clarity, you were not on the sideline that day for Oklahoma. What was your viewpoint as somebody in college football of LSU that season of Joey, really, because of the relationship that you had with him?
Man, he was unstoppable, and we watched every single game. My wife and I, we watched damn near every single game, and we, I would text coach throughout the games. He's texting me back, "Hey, Joey's out here killing these kids." You know what I mean? It was awesome. But no, that was an unstoppable team. They had weapons everywhere. I mean, obviously, they had a great defense too, but I mean, just watching it was like game 2 or 3, you knew they were going to win the national championship unless something crazy happened. You could just tell. And I remember watching the Sooners, and Grinch is a good friend of mine, and watching that game, I was like,
you in trouble today,
Joey's
boss. Might not want to single up Justin Jefferson anymore.
And then 2 weeks later, Grinch calling me, telling me, "Hey, do you want to come to Dallas and interview for this job?" And then
we need all the help we can get.
LSU on the schedule.
And fast forward 2 years later, I get the job here, and all these people come up to me like, "Hey, were you at Oklahoma in that 19 game?" I'm like, nah, I was actually on my couch in Arizona.
I was the savior of that game, actually.
These fans here will let me know. Hey, were you sure you weren't there? I'm like, dude, read my bio. I was not there.
I just looked it up.
Arizona State staff.
Yes.
LSU has to have a certain feeling to it within the coaching industry, though, when you look at the success, 3 coaches, 3 national champions, 20 years, the 19 season. How does the coaching fraternity, you being one of the headliners on the defensive line of that fraternity, look at the LSU job?
Man, everybody that I've seen on the road or guys that I talked to in the community have just told me, like, dude, you got a great job. Mm-hmm. You're going to be okay.
Right.
Or I tell them, hey, people weren't happy that I left USC, and they go, you'll be all right.
You laid on your feet.
You'll be, you landed okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, it's kind of that coveted job that everybody, especially to be the D-line coach.
Sure.
It's one of those coveted jobs around the country. It's like, it's been a dream for me. Like, I'm living my dream as a young coach. I would have never thought that I'd be sitting here as a D-line coach at LSU or the D-line coach at even to have blue bloods fight over me. To get me to come here, like to go from USC to LSU within a month, like that's crazy to even think that, and to start off from a junior college coach to a high school coach to be sitting here with you guys, I'm just living my dream. I'm just a kid who used to draw up plays in math class because I didn't want to do geometry, and now I'm sitting here coaching at LSU with some of the best players in the country, some of the best resources. Like, hell, I ain't got no complaints, man.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hell
like,
yeah.
They eating crawfish with y'all and not understanding what anybody in this state is saying. You know what I'm saying?
Nod your head, yeah.
Go Tigers.
Yeah. I'm just a Cali boy out here living my dream. You know what I mean?
Man.
And shoot, I still walk around with my Chuck Taylors on and just bringing that California flavor here, and I'm living my dream, dude. Because everybody tells me, like, dude, you're the D-line coach at LSU. You're the D-line coach at LSU. Like, my brother's like, send me a hoodie. I'm like, bro, it's 110 in Cali. What you want to do, walk around with an LSU hoodie?
Right.
Or everybody texting me talking about, hey, I'm coming to the Bama game, I'm coming to this game, I'm coming to that game. I'm like, bro, I don't have that many tickets. So I don't know how y'all going to get here, how you going to get into the game. So, nah, it's good, man. I'm chilling.
That is awesome, man. Easy to pull for. Happy birthday.
Oh,
welcome home, bro.
Man.
Welcome home. Does it feel Baton Rouge feeling like sort of settle in?
These damn potholes, man. If
That's a whole different story.
I'm a busted tire. Nah, it's been
Traffic cry. We can go on, but
it's been good. I'm trying to navigate around the town. I'm realizing that, like, in California, 20 minutes means you're on a freeway and you got to go 7 miles. Here, 20 minutes means you got to go 2 miles.
Stoplight.
And you're still going. So I'm trying to figure that, navigate that. The freeway system's a little bit different to me, but we're good. My wife's just zooming around town. My kids are happy. So it's good. Right, Cal?
yes.
She's good.
Trying to get her on the show.
Absolutely. We're going to get her in here. We'll take a birthday picture and put it on social media for Coach Jamar Cain, man. It's great to see you.
Man, thanks for having me, man. I appreciate you guys.
Absolutely.
And I
man.
heard your little comment, too, to my man. He could put him down.
Can't swallow his
I
head.
heard you glaze over that, too. I'm like, oh, this dude, right?
Compliance might be listening, for God's sakes.
Ain't put my business in the streets, man.
No, it's been awesome, man. We've had a couple of crawfish
climb with
boils.
you.
Yeah, right. You know who the Italian one is.
Right.
We had a couple of
Supposed to be
crawfish
jail
bowls, and
guy.
Coach Cain come through here, man. And first time with crawfish and meeting him and his wife, and now his family, Callie and the crew, man. Welcome down to Baton Rouge, Louisiana. It is great to have you representing the flagship university, and it's good to talk to you this morning.
Nah, I appreciate it, man. We got to do it again anytime.
We will. Happy birthday
You were
to
the
you.
first guy I followed when I got here because I don't know, it just came up on my little deal. I'm like, oh, that's a cool backdrop, man. That dude is cool.
Jamar Cain, bro, one of us. We'll be back for the Jordy Culotta Show.